Have you ever stopped to ask yourself this simple question? Could walking every day after the age of 70 actually be not enough to stay healthy? It sounds counterintuitive, does it not? For decades, we have been told that walking is the gold standard for staying fit as we age. Doctors, magazines, even friends and neighbors, it seems everyone has praised the daily walk as the perfect exercise for seniors. And yes, walking is good. It keeps you moving. It gets you outside. It keeps the blood flowing. But here is the truth. Nobody talks about for people over 70. Walking alone is no longer enough. In fact, if walking is the only form of movement you are doing right now, it may be speeding up the very things you are trying to prevent. Things like muscle loss, joint stiffness, poor balance, and even dangerous falls. That is not fear-mongering. It is what doctors specializing in geriatric care have been warning about more and more in recent years. Let me tell you about someone who thought he was doing everything right. His name is Tom. He is 76 years old and lives in a quiet neighborhood in Texas. He is a retired mechanical engineer. Methodical, practical, the kind of guy who keeps his tools in perfect order and his socks neatly folded. After retiring, Tom made a promise to himself and to his late wife he would stay active every morning at 7 a.m. He would walk 2 miles around the block, rain or shine. That was his routine for 6 straight years. But one morning, something changed. Tom bent down to tie his shoe and realized he was struggling to get back up. A few days later, he reached for a can of soup in the pantry, and his shoulder twinged with pain. Then came the near fall. Nothing serious, just a wobble while stepping off the curb, but it scared him. What was going on? He had not skipped a day of walking. He had not gained weight. He was even watching what he ate. And yet, he felt weaker, slower, less steady, as if his body was aging faster than it should. That is when his doctor said something that completely shifted his mindset, Tom. Walking is great, but at your age, it is just maintenance. It does not build strength. It does not protect your joints, and it definitely does not train your balance. You are missing the real pillars of health. It hit him hard, but it made sense. Like many older adults, Tom had been relying on one tool to fix everything walking, and unfortunately, it was not enough. If you are over 70, this message is for you. You deserve to stay strong, independent, and mobile not just today, but for the years ahead. But to do that, you need more than steps on a pedometer. You need a smarter, more complete approach. In this video, we are going to break down 5 simple but powerful things you can start doing today that will make a real difference. We are talking about strengthening the muscles that keep you on your feet, rebuilding the balance that prevents falls, loosening up the joints that have started to stiffen, realigning your posture to protect your spine, and shifting to gentler movements that reduce wear and tear on your knees and hips. And do not worry, none of these require a gym membership or fancy equipment. These are practical, at-home steps you can take even if you have never been into exercise. You are going to hear exactly how Tom made these changes and how they reversed the decline he thought was inevitable. By the end of this video, you will have a clear roadmap to not only move better, but to feel more energized, more capable, and more confident in your own body again. Now, before we get into the details, I would like to ask you something. Scroll down to the comment section and leave a full sentence about what this story made you reflect on. Your comment is not just feedback, It is a signal. It helps this message reach others who may not even realize what is quietly undermining their strength. Your words could be the reason someone else stops and thinks twice. Someone like Tom, someone like you. So take a moment, write a sentence, and be the voice that helps another person take control of their health. And now, let us get into the 5 things that truly matter after 70 and why they could change the way you age. Let us take a closer look now at the 5 changes that, according to doctors and real-life experience, are even more important than just walking after the age of 70. These are not complicated. You do not need a gym. You do not need expensive equipment. What you need is a plan that touches the areas walking alone does not. Here are the 5 shifts that help Tom not only stop his decline, but reverse it. 1. Strength training, preventing muscle loss. After 70, one of the biggest dangers is sarcopenia. This is the age-related loss of muscle mass, and it happens faster than most people realize. Walking, while good for the legs, does not provide the resistance necessary to maintain or build muscle. That is why strength training is essential. For Tom, it started simple. His doctor told him to begin every morning with a chair exercise, sitting down and standing up without using his hands. Just 10 repetitions. He also began using light resistance bands to do basic arm curls and leg presses, along with lifting a couple of half-gallon water jugs for shoulder presses. No gym, no machines, just what he had at home. At first, it felt tiring, but by the end of the 2nd week, he noticed a difference. One morning, while unloading groceries from the car, Tom realized he no longer needed to pause every few minutes. He lifted the bags with ease and carried them straight to the kitchen without having to stop and rest. Maintaining muscle is not about looking fit. It is about staying independent. The ability to rise from a chair, carry groceries, or climb stairs is directly tied to muscle strength. The Journal of the American Geriatric Society has published numerous studies confirming that older adults who engage in strength training 2 to 3 times a week significantly reduce their risk of disability and falls. 2. Balance training, preventing dangerous falls. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospital visits for adults over 65 in the United States. The problem is that walking does very little to improve your balance. Balance comes from training the stabilizing muscles in your ankles, feet, and core muscles that walking barely touches. Tom learned this the hard way. One morning, he slipped slightly on the bathroom floor. He caught himself, but it shook his confidence. His doctor recommended adding balance training to his routine. So now, each morning, while brushing his teeth, Tom stands on one leg for 10 seconds, then switches to the other. He also practices walking heel to toe in a straight line across the hallway, just like walking a tightrope. After a few weeks, Tom began to notice he no longer reached for furniture to steady himself. He moved with more confidence. Tasks like stepping off the curb or walking on uneven grass became less intimidating. Simple balance exercises helped rewire his body's sense of stability, something walking alone could not achieve. 3. Flexibility and mobility. Keeping your joints moving smoothly. Joint stiffness is one of the most common complaints among seniors, whether it is in the neck, shoulders, hips, or knees. Tight joints can limit your movement and cause discomfort. Walking does not fully stretch your joints. That is where mobility exercises come in. For Tom, the wake-up call came while driving. He struggled to turn his head far enough to check the blind spot. That moment stuck with him. He started adding 5 minutes of mobility exercises to his morning's gentle neck rotations, shoulder rolls, knee circles, and ankle movements. No yoga mat, no floor work, just movements done while standing or sitting. 1 week in, Tom noticed he could turn his head more freely. Backing out of the driveway felt less stressful. Over time, his overall posture and comfort improved. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors who maintain joint flexibility have better circulation, less pain, and a significantly lower risk of falls or injuries. 4 core and posture training, protecting the spine. Most people think of the core as abdominal muscles, but the core includes the muscles in your lower back, pelvis, and hips. A weak core leads to poor posture, back pain, and imbalance, and walking does not strengthen the core in any meaningful way. Tom never thought much about posture until he began experiencing nagging back pain after his morning walks. His doctor explained that poor posture was likely the cause. Now, every day, Tom spends just 3 minutes doing core awareness exercises. He stands against a wall with his head, shoulders, and hips touching it. He gently pulls in his belly and lifts his chest without arching his back. He also practices slow pelvic tilts while seated. The results surprised him. Not only did his back pain subside, but he also started walking taller and breathing more deeply. His wife noticed it first. "You look more upright," she said one morning. That was all the encouragement he needed. Studies have shown that better posture improves lung capacity, digestion, and even mood. It reduces strain on joints and muscles and helps you move more efficiently. And the best part, it takes just a few minutes a day. 5 low-impact movements. Protecting your joints from wear and tear. Walking is repetitive, and while repetition is good in moderation, doing the same motion every single day, especially on hard pavement, puts strain on the same joints, your knees, hips, and ankles. After 70, your joints need variety and less impact. Tom began to notice that after long walks, his knees felt swollen and his lower back ached. His doctor suggested replacing 2 of his walking sessions each week with swimming or stationary cycling. So, Tom started using the community center pool twice a week. The water supported his joints, allowing him to move freely without pain. Within a month, his knee swelling had gone down, and he looked forward to his swim days. Research from the Arthritis Foundation confirms that water-based exercises reduce joint pressure by up to 75% while still building strength and improving cardiovascular health. That makes it one of the best activities for seniors concerned about joint pain. In addition, Tom also added some gentle Tai Chi movements he learned through a YouTube video. The slow, controlled motions helped him feel grounded and calm, an unexpected bonus. These 5 adjustments, muscle strengthening, balance training, mobility work, core activation, and joint-friendly movement, are not about replacing walking. They are about completing the picture. Walking remains important, but it must be supported by other forms of movement that protect your body where walking falls short. Tom's story is not unusual. It is just under-discussed. Like many older Americans, he assumed walking was enough. But once he began to integrate these 5 changes, his energy improved, his pain decreased, and most importantly, he regained a sense of control over his body and his future. You do not need to be young to get stronger. You just need to be willing to try something new, just like Tom did. After just 1 month of small but consistent changes, the results spoke for themselves. Tom, who once ended each day feeling sore and fatigued, began noticing a quiet but powerful shift in how his body felt and how it moved. I do not feel exhausted anymore, Tom said, sitting on the edge of his garden bench with dirt still on his gloves. I used to walk 2 miles and then sit the rest of the day, too tired to do anything else. Now I walk less, but I move better. I can carry the groceries, kneel to check the tomatoes, and even squat when I need to grab something from the bottom shelf. I have not felt this capable in years. His wife, Margaret, 73, noticed the change even before Tom did. She had grown used to the way he would grunt and push off the armrest just to stand up, but now she watched him move around the kitchen with ease, bending to pick things up and rising smoothly from the couch without needing support. It is like he is lighter on his feet, she said. He does not shuffle when he walks anymore. He is more confident, more himself. This transformation did not come from hours in the gym. It came from a few targeted movements each morning, 2 short sessions in the pool per week, and a handful of conscious habits done consistently. The key was not intensity, it was intention. Tom's results are not a fluke. They are an example of what happens when older adults train with purpose. The body, even at 70 or 80, still responds to movement. Muscles grow, joints loosen, confidence returns, but it only happens when you stop relying on walking alone and start addressing the areas that truly matter. For those watching this, wondering what to do next, here is what Tom recommends. Start with your strength. Try the sit-to-stand test. Sit in a chair without armrests. Cross your arms over your chest. Now stand up and sit down 10 times without using your hands. If you struggle, that is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you know exactly where to start. Next, test your balance. Stand near a wall or counter for safety. Lift 1 foot an inch off the floor and hold it for 10 seconds. Switch sides. If you cannot hold steady, it means your balance needs work. And the good news is, it can improve quickly with practice. Then, look at your posture. Stand with your back flat against a wall. Can your head, shoulders, and hips all touch the wall comfortably? If not, your posture is slipping, and a few minutes a day of core activation can help correct that. Finally, assess your joints. Do your knees hurt after walking? Do you feel stiff in the morning? Replace 2 walking sessions a week with swimming, cycling, or stretching. Just that one change could relieve years of strain and protect your mobility long-term. These are not fitness tests. They are daily life indicators, practical tools to understand what your body needs right now. No one expects you to become a personal trainer at 75, but if you can commit to 10 minutes each day, you will begin to see and feel what Tom now lives: energy, control, and the freedom to move without fear or fatigue. And that is the true goal. Not just more years, but more life in every year. Tom's story is proof that with the right focus, it is possible. If you are over the age of 70 and walking is your only form of exercise, you may be missing the very things that protect your independence. It is not just about movement. It is about the right kind of movement. Walking keeps your legs moving, but it does not challenge your muscles. It does not improve your balance. It does not protect your joints. And it does not build the core strength you need to stand tall, lift safely, or move confidently. That is the hard truth. And the sooner you face it, the more time you will have to do something about it. Right now, many older adults are unknowingly letting their strength slip away. They assume it is just age, but much of it is preventable. The quiet struggle to stand up from a low chair, the hesitation when reaching for something overhead, the fear of falling in the bathroom. These are not just random moments. They are signs that the body is being neglected in areas that matter most. Seniors who maintain muscle strength, stability, and flexibility are the ones who stay in control. They are the ones who live independently. They are the ones who do not need to rely on their children or caregivers to do everyday tasks. They are the ones who enjoy their time, rather than counting how many steps it takes to get from the bedroom to the kitchen. It is not about being athletic. It is about being capable. It is about bending down without fear, getting up without effort, walking confidently without the need to hold on to the furniture. If that is the kind of life you want, it is time to stop relying on walking alone. It is time to take your body seriously. So let me ask you something. In what ways are you like Tom? Is your leg strength fading? Do you feel unsteady when stepping down a curb? Is your back sore after doing chores or even after a short walk? Do you feel stiff when getting out of bed? Are you starting to sit more because movement just feels harder than it used to? If you answered yes to any of these questions, now is the time to choose one of the 5 things we discussed and begin today. You do not have to overhaul your life. You do not need expensive programs or professional trainers. You need intention, consistency, and a few minutes each day to reconnect with your body and give it the support it deserves. Remember, strength training prevents muscle loss and keeps you strong enough to live on your own terms. Balance training protects you from the falls that often change lives overnight. Flexibility training keeps your joints moving, your posture tall, and your range of motion free. Core and posture work protect your spine, your breathing, and your confidence. Low-impact movements like swimming and cycling reduce joint pain while keeping your body active and safe. These are not just exercises. They are tools to help you keep control of your future. Now, here is what you can do right now. Choose one area: strength, balance, flexibility, core, or joint protection. Write it down. Make it your focus this week. If you are not sure where to begin, go back and re-watch the part of this video that speaks to your situation. Listen again to what Tom experienced and what changed when he made that one small shift. Then, take action. And while you are here, take a moment to scroll down and leave a comment. Tell us what part of Tom's story reminded you of yourself. Was it the aching knees, the wobbly balance, the fatigue after doing something simple? Your comment does more than share your experience. It reminds others that they are not alone and that there is a way forward. If you found value in this video, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Each week, we release practical, straightforward lessons just like this, made for older adults who want real answers, not gimmicks. This is not about anti-aging tricks or silver bullet solutions. It is about building habits that work, grounded in what your body truly needs. When you subscribe and turn on notifications, you will not miss our next video. Coming up, we will talk about the subtle foods that may be draining your energy without you realizing it, and how to support your joints through smarter nutrition. We will also cover ways to sleep better after 70, and how small nighttime changes can transform your mornings. Your voice matters here. Your story can help someone else. And your action, whether it is one small stretch, one squat, or one mindful moment, could be the start of a stronger, freer, more confident you, because it is not too late. It is never too late to feel better than you do right now. Thank you for being here, for caring about your health, and for choosing to take your body seriously. We are with you every step of the way. And remember, more years mean more potential, not less. Let us make sure every year ahead is lived with strength, clarity, and independence.